Today's video is sponsored to you by EA, and we got a lot of gameplay information and a video for you guys for Madden 26. So much to go through. A couple things before we get started. I'm going to loop the trailer in the background while I yap over it and talk about everything that's in this 33-page blog. So we're going to be linking the full trailer down below in the comment section and the blog where I'm getting a ton of this information from. If you guys were unaware, I did go down to Orlando last month. I got to play the game only for like an hour, 2 hours at most, so I didn't get to test out every single thing that you're probably wondering about the game, but a lot of the stuff that I learned about Madden 26 and some of the stuff I experienced is in this blog. And again, there's so much to talk about, so let's jump into it. Built from Sundays is 100% the theme of Madden 26 gameplay, and it's all about bringing you closer to the NFL experience while providing ultimate control and performance on the sticks. Without a doubt, the most important position on the field is the quarterback, and in Madden 26, there's going to be a ton of changes and new features at the position. Visual quality, signature behaviors, improved AI, and new mechanics all make up QB DNA. Some of the new features include 9 unique ball hold animations, different animations while the QBs are in the pocket, and then also new pocket throws, back foot throws, and signature off-platinum throws. Things that you see Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Patrick Mahomes do on Sundays will be in Madden 26. In total, there are over 500 new animations just at the quarterback position alone, and along with that, the trait system in Madden 26 will also see a huge change. In the blog, they list all 50 traits that are new to Madden 26 and exactly what they do. Most of them focus on the quarterback position, but the full list of 50 traits is across the entire football field. Seeing ghosts, for example, after a sack, QBs with this trait will tend to force a pass to their first read for the next 3 plays, resetting at the end of a drive. You have a trait called panic button. QBs with this trait will have a higher tendency to force passes when facing pressure. Or we can go to the defensive side of the ball. Big hitter. Players with this trait will have a higher tendency to attempt a hit stick. So go check out the blog, read through all 50 of these. It's going to make a lot of the gameplay experiences for you in Madden 26 more unique. Coach DNA is also a huge component of the game this year, including Coach Speak, which is a data-driven feature used for play calling recommendations. The main thing I want to talk about is playbooks, which is another component to Coach DNA. At launch, there will nearly be 1,000 brand new plays in the game, which is twice the amount that we saw in Madden 25. The focus for playbooks in Madden 26 will be on motions and shifts, stunts and twists, exotic defensive pressure, and new coach adjustments. To support the new motions, they captured all new locomotion sets to impact the player movement, making it look more natural and authentic. These locomotions will also have a variety of speed based on the intent for the play itself. The new stunts and twists feature is really cool. I can't wait to see what people are going to be able to cook up with this, but you can essentially change or dictate what type of stunt and twist you want on any given play in your playbook. The blog goes on to say you may have as many as 12 different stunts to choose from to apply in any play in that set. There's also going to be a huge change to coach adjustments, a lot more options to control your defense and offense. One of those includes different ways, numerous ways to align your safeties on defense. You can play them 25 yards off the line. You can change the alignment of the safeties to be tight to the line of scrimmage, wide to stop corner routes or players outside of the hash marks. The amount of customization that you're going to be able to have on the defensive side of the ball is really, really refreshing. One other new adjustment is going to allow you to dictate how your AI defenders play versus RPOs, which I know can be a big pain point for somebody that's running them against you and you just can't figure out how to stop them. Definitely a big improvement, or at least attempt at that, to try to stop RPOs. Zone drops will still be in the game, and we'll talk about zone stemming in a little while, but you're also going to be able to see when you apply a certain zone drop in the coach adjustments. When you look at the play art on the field pre-snap, you'll be able to see that those zone drops match on the field art to what you set in coach adjustments. And one last thing, this is a huge one. It says to add more balance and strategy around fumbles, they completely removed the ability to have a conservative ball carrier. I never really had a problem with that, but they go on to say this adjustment was used as an unfair advantage in Madden 25 to avoid fumblings without any real risk carrying the ball. In Madden 26, to avoid fumbling, you're pretty much just going to have to use that cover ball mechanic, which is holding down R1 or RB. I'm totally fine with that. It puts more control in the user hand, and I think it makes using the hit stick at the right time, doing the right timing to it, I think it makes makes it more of a skill. Player movement is another huge change coming to Madden 26, and I think a lot of you that maybe preferred college football 25 gameplay over Madden 25 gameplay will like this change. The blog says we will have alignment between both games on a central tuning set that captures the best of both college and Madden. No matter where you play, a 4-2 is a 4-2, and there's not going to be any difference between the games. If you played Madden 25 and college football 25, you probably knew that the player movement not only was different, but college just felt a lot faster. You're going to see that on both games now, which I think is a good thing, especially for those of you that might like to jump back and forth between two games. You don't really have to get a different feeling for each now. It is going to feel the same. And they go on to say this is a direct response to player feedback. It was very clear that people wanted this. Movement in college football 25 felt more fun and responsive, and I would agree. And I said that at the beginning of the Madden 25 college 25 year on the differences between the two games. Depth chart positions in Madden 26 kind of going to get reworked here with some new things coming into it. Things like edge rushers, Sam, Mike, and Will linebackers. There's a gadget player spot in the depth chart for players like Deebo Samuel and Taysom Hill, just to name a few. And Travis Hunter is going to be changing the game in more ways than one on the field IRL and now in Madden. I think him alone, it says that they remove certain restrictions on depth charts so players like Travis Hunter can be a starter at both wide receiver and cornerback. So again, that's something that you're going to be able to implement more than likely in your Madden Ultimate team as well. And for a rookie to come in and change the game like that, very exciting times. Can't wait to see exactly how this is all implemented across other players. There's a lot of talk about changes to pass coverage in the game as well. And again, there's so much information in the blog, I can't really go through all of it, but there's going to be a huge change to cover 4 defense. Deep halves, which didn't play very well for the early parts of Madden 25. I think they got better as more abilities came into play and as the year went on, but usually in the beginning of the game, deep blues or deep half zones usually play below our expectations. I think with the new safety alignment features and coach adjustments that we talked about earlier, those are going to come into play, but also they made a concerted effort here to have those be working or playing a lot better at launch. Most of my life playing Madden, I've been a man coverage guy, and they made some huge changes to man coverage as well, and I really think specifically early on and maybe throughout the entire year, man coverage is really going to be the meta. The blog says the first improvement to man coverage is a new defender cut reaction system. So based on ratings, this system will allow receivers to create separation more authentically and have a better variety in the amount of separation when a receiver wins on their cut. Ratings wise, it's going to come down to the man coverage rating versus things like short, mid, and deep route running. And it also says to reduce the frequency of psychic interceptions, which can be a thing certainly when you're going against man coverage. We've refined the logic for when AI-controlled defenders can attempt to catch. Basically, it says if they're not facing the ball or if they haven't turned their head to see the ball, they're not going to jump for the interception, which to me makes a lot of sense. I think the SWAT animation and the SWAT button is going to be huge this year as well. It's something that was good way back in the day when I first started playing Madden. You don't really see too many people use it these days, but the blog goes over the variety of new SWAT animations and how they're going to be able to impact pass coverage from different angles. I mentioned it earlier, but we're going to have zone stems on defense this year. So remember last year, route stems were introduced. To me, a really nice feature in Madden 25 that obviously will carry over to Madden 26 and probably most Maddens in the future. But now on the defensive side of the ball, you have that same control. If you have hook curls on each side of the field with these zone adjustments, you can change the length to one plays on one side and one on the other. They will also override any zone drops that you set up in coach adjustments. But if there's a specific, corner route that's beating you all game, you're now going to have the ability to take that away with these custom zone drops. And speaking of corner routes, there's also going to be a new route commit feature. Now, this is really just going to be in man coverage, but if you commit to a route breaking to the outside because that's what your opponent keeps doing all game, your defenders are going to pay attention to that outbreaking route. And if you commit to it, you're normally going to win there. But if you guess the wrong side, right? You go to a corner route, they run a post or a slant, your guy's going to get beat. So again, it's going to be kind of a high risk reward system, but I think it puts more control into the player's hands. And again, we talked about all of the changes that are coming from the man defensive side. I think if you like to run a lot of man defense and you're really good at picking up your opponent's tendencies, this is going to be a really good feature for you. There's a pretty good spot in the blog talking about physics-based gameplay and, you know, it's stuff we've heard in the past. Some of the things that grab my attention are going to be timing, and it's going to put more control again into the player's hand. Trucking and stiff arm animations are now going to be time-based. There's going to be over 700 new tackle animations. I know when I personally played the game, diving tackles definitely looked more authentic and realistic. They talk about new wrap-up catch tackles for defensive backs, in-range lunges, which is kind of the dive stuff that I was talking about. Unprepped hit sticks, which are more explosive hit stick interactions that are meant to capture those moments from Sundays where the ball carrier is not quite prepared for that hit. If you're one of those people that says it's the same game from year to year to year, I mean, there's just so much that they added in strictly from an animation standpoint. You know, when we talked about it, the quarterback position earlier, and then the defensive side with all of the adjustments and the control that you have and all of these different tackle animations, I don't think it's going to look like the same game or the same play every time. I know the majority of my audience watching this video are Madden Ultimate Team players. I don't know how this is going to impact the Madden Ultimate Team world, but they are bringing over wear and tear from College Football 25, and it will be in Madden NFL 26. In the paragraph that talks about it, the last sentence says you'll read a lot more about wear and tear system in the franchise and presentation deep dive coming in a few weeks. So that leads me to believe that this is going to be more of a franchise and offline thing, but managing that wear and tear is going to be very easy because there's going to be dynamic substitutions in Madden 26 and College Football 26, something that they mentioned in the previous blog when the first reveal trailer came out for Madden 26. This blog doesn't really go into it in detail, but it's going to be a way to substitute players in and out without having to press the pause button or stopping the game. I think it's a really nice feature, especially if you're playing Madden Ultimate Team and you have, you know, a lot of good players in your depth chart that don't really see the field because you're just too lazy to get them in the game. A lot of things, again, adding more customization to you. One last thing I want to go over before I get out of here, and I think this might be, if you're watching this entire video and this far into it, this might be the favorite thing that you're going to hear all day: superstar abilities. So, you know, this is a really polarizing topic. Some people hate abilities, some people love them. A lot of people want Madden to go back to a game where abilities aren't even a thing. Here's a big change that's coming this year. Superstar abilities, or passive abilities that impact outcomes, will no longer have built-in guarantees to win. So think of an ability like a zone or man coverage knockout. Instead of a guaranteed or nearly guaranteed outcome, you'll instead now see increased chances close to 50% when the specific condition of an ability is met. But if you think you lose games because of abilities, that's not going to be a thing anymore because they're just not going to be guaranteed. There are way too many to read from this list, but in the blog they put all of the superstar abilities that have been changed by this no more guaranteed win system, if you will. And, you know, your favorites are in there. The favorites that you hate: short, flat, mid-zone KO, deep out zone KO, mid-zone KO, medium route KO for the man coverage stuff. The one that's on this list that I'm not a fan of is pick artist, because I don't believe we need abilities for our defenders to catch interceptions, but that is on the list. I don't see anything with X factors, you know, things like angry runs, universal coverage, avalanche. So we'll have to find out more information about that, but it just looks like essentially abilities are getting a huge change, and players that rely on them 100% won't be able to do that anymore, and players that hate them, well, I think you're just not going to see them be as impactful. So that's all I got for now, but again, just a lot of information on this blog, 33 pages to read through. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any questions about the gameplay or stuff that's in the blog, leave it down below in the comment section, and thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.